Hey there, fellow sports gamblers. It's Steel Picks for you with the 5 best NBA prize picks and underdog free picks for today, April 9th. Before we get into our picks for today, let's do a quick rundown of what happened to us yesterday. Dylan Harper scored 13 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and dished out 4 assists to go under the 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists as we predicted. Robert Williams III scored 4 points, grabbed 3 rebounds, and dished out 1 assist to go. The Joker had 16 rebounds to go over the 12.5 rebounds as we predicted. Continued his hot streak with 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists to go over the 23.5 points and rebounds and assists as we predicted. And you know what stopped us from picking the immaculate ticket? De'Aaron Fox had 7 assists. A half point over the 6.5 assists we predicted he'd go under. 4 out of 5 is a good run, but losing the immaculate ticket on half of an assist is a tough pill to swallow. Let's see if we can't get it back today, though. First up, we have Derek White under 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and OG Anunoby under 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And here's why we think this. Derek White, in his last 10 games, has gone under this mark 9 of the 10 games. Only 1 game against the Milwaukee Bucks, not a very good opponent. He had 17 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists to get to 25. That, we'll just have to say that was kind of a fluke if, you want to be perfectly honest with you. If you see his last 2 games, though, 10 points, 12 points, 3 assists against the Charlotte Hornets, 6 assists against the Toronto Raptors, has consistently been under this number. And he's playing the New York Knicks, who have a great defense, and points allowed, they're number 5. Rebounds allowed, they're number 3. Assists allowed, they're number 6. So not feeling real confident about what Derek White's going to be able to do. And in addition, since the reemergence of Jason Tatum into the starting lineup, his numbers and his production has not been what it was. As you can see, his numbers are pretty good, not bad, about 34.5 minutes a game. But he doesn't get to the free throw line very often. As a matter of fact, he has not taken a free throw in his last 5 games. And field goal attempts have been down dramatically since the Jason Tatum return. As you can see, he's had 4 against Miami, 6 made against the Milwaukee Bucks in that one, kind of fluke game. Toronto Raptors, he had 4. Charlotte Hornets, he had 4. So not too worried about him, to be perfectly honest with you. I think he'll go under 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And as you can see, PrizePicks likes that as well, as they have him at minus 119. And the OG Anunoby pick. He's actually gone over this amount, this 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists 5 times. And in his last 3 games, he's actually gone over that. But again, they're playing the Boston Celtics. Points allowed, rebounds allowed, and assists allowed. They're number 1 in the league. So I'm not feeling real confident that the power forward OG Anunoby is going to be able to do that. His minutes have been fairly consistent. He's been playing a lot of minutes lately, 37 against the Atlanta Hawks, 30.5 against Chicago Bulls, 39.7 against the Memphis Grizzlies. But if you notice, although he's shooting a lot or a pretty high percentage from the free throw line, which is kind of crazy, he hasn't been making very many, 5, 6, and 4. So he's making about 5 a game. Field goal attempts, pretty good, but not really making a whole lot of them, 8, 9, and 7. So I don't think he's going to go over this 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And as you can see, PrizePicks likes that as well, as they have him at minus 119. Our third pick of the day is Kevin Durant, over 23.5 points. And why do we think that? As we look at his last numbers, he's been able to get over this mark in 8 of his last 10 games. The only 2 games he wasn't able to do that were against the Pelicans and for some reason against the Milwaukee Bucks. But you see against Phoenix, he had his 24. Against Golden State, kind of a revenge game, he had his 31. Utah, he had his 25. So pretty consistently getting over that mark. And the head-to-head, the last time these guys played against Philadelphia, he had 36. So definitely getting his points in that game. And as you can see, Philadelphia points allowed, not that great, 18th in the league. And against power forwards, they're 18th. So nothing to really write home about there. As you can see, when we talk about his last 10 games, his minutes been pretty consistent. 37 against the Golden State Warriors, 35.7 against Phoenix. He's gone over this in 9 of his last 11 games. As you can see, 4 of their last 5 opponents, the Philadelphia 76ers, have 11 to go over their projected points for that game. As a friendly reminder, when you and use my promo code WINCASH, you receive 2 anytime tokens worth up to $100 each. And when you go to Novig and use my STEELEWINS promo code and spend $5, you'll get a $50 bonus. The last 2 picks I have for you, the first one is Joel Embiid over 1.5 3-pointers made. And why do we think this? When we look at Joel Embiid's production over the last 10 games, he's been able to do this 6 of the last 10 games. But as you can see, he's been able to do this in 5 of the last 6 games. Not way over. He's only had 2 against Miami, both times against Miami, I should say, and 1 time against San Antonio. But in the other 3 games, he had 3 against Chicago, 3 against Charlotte. He only had the 1 against Minnesota. But I definitely think that he is going to be chomping at the bit to get back out there. He's missed a few games, not by his own choice. I don't know if you've seen him on social media and in the press talking about how he wishes he would have been out there. He's a hooper. He wants the ball. But at the same time, they're trying to take a look at the long picture and keep him healthy for the playoffs. But I do think he'll make at least 2 3-pointers in this game. And as we can see, his minutes when he is called upon, he's definitely been able to play almost 40 minutes a game. 35.8 against Charlotte, 34 against Miami, and 39.1 against the San Antonio Spurs. So I definitely like Joel Embiid to have over 1.5 3-pointers for the game. And last but not least, we have Trey Jones over 18.5 points against the Washington Wizards. If you've been watching the channel, you know how I feel about the Washington Wizards. They're probably one of the worst teams in the league and have been mailing it in for quite some time, just kind of waiting for the lottery thing to happen so they can decide or determine what their fate is going to be. Hopefully they get a franchise player that can kind of turn their franchise around, but that's neither here nor there with regards to what we need going into this game. We're looking at Trey Jones, and we see that he's been over this mark 6 of his last 10 games and 5 of his last 7, including a 29-point outburst against the Phoenix Suns and 20 against Washington just the last time. So definitely feeling confident. It's a familiar opponent. They just played 2 days ago. So definitely think he's going to be able to replicate what he was able to do in that first game. And as you can see, the Washington Wizards are second to last in points allowed. As far as his field goals go, he had a 20-shot night against the Phoenix Suns, and then again a 15-shot night against the Wizards just a few games ago. His free throw percentage is pretty high, and he's been able to get to the line. Not a whole lot. Certainly he got to the line quite a bit in this New York Knicks game on Monday, but I definitely think that he'll be able to get his points and get over that 18.5 points that we are predicting. So to recap, we have Derek White under 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We have OG Anunoby under 23.5 points and assists. Kevin Durant over 23.5 points. We also have Joel Embiid over 1.5 3-pointers made. And Trey Jones ending us out with over 18.5 points. That's the 5 picks I have for you today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the Still Picks for You channel. And good luck, everyone.